Welcome to the show. My guest tonight is the Blue.
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm excited.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm the festival manager of Sled Island Music and Arts Festival, and then as the Blue, I'm a hip hop artist in Calgary, Alberta.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did you connect with the Sled Island people?
Ooh, it's honestly a long time coming of a few different things. I think my first interaction with Sled Island was when I was 18. I ran out of diploma prep as it was ending to book it down to a pre-Sled Island kickoff party that was happening a few weeks before that festival in 2014. And that was my first interaction with Sled Island. I'm a huge fan of Shad, and they had him headlining the kickoff party that year. And then after that, I was like, oh, I have to keep going to this. I had the pleasure of playing literally the year after 19 in 2015. And just down the years, I've known the previous festival manager, but in 2022, had the opportunity of managing a few shows when he reached out and asked me to hop in and manage those over that festival in 2022. And then from there, he later in that year decided that it was time for him to switch to a new path. He had been with the festival since around 2007. And so the opportunity came up. I applied and I got the position.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been booking shows for a number of years before that, so I had the experience of putting those together, but definitely not to this scale. So it was definitely a learning curve, and it was a great opportunity and one that I'm super grateful for.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What do you do as a festival manager now?
Yeah, so the key thing is just managing over the logistics and operations for the festival to actually happen. So there are other things I manage, but it's making sure we have the venues booked, and I book them literally after each festival. The following week, I book the venues for the next year, making sure we've got venue managers to run each of those shows, and it's roughly 60 to 70 shows each week with over 200 acts. So making sure we have people who, even if it's their first time managing shows like that, that they have some form of experience or some form of expertise to see them through managing the whole show. And they normally will run a few that week. So doing all those things, and then on top of that, I'm the liaison for like around, I would say 180 to 200 of the acts that come each year. And then just a whole bunch of other things, emails and making sure things are ready, getting in place, building the schedule for the festival, etc.
Sounds like a lot. It sounds like more work than a regular festival. You have what, six of the main venues? Is that how many?
Right? We've got a bunch of main venues, but each day we roughly have 12 to 20 venues during the festival, so it can get hectic.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
How do you even organize all that? Like, do you have a big team underneath you?
No. So we have a team all together. We have 4 full-time staff. That's our executive director. She's in charge of everything. And she's also the artistic director. So she leads sort of the direction of each year's festival by booking the headliners. Then there's me, the festival manager. Then there's our marketing manager, and then our funds development manager in charge of getting sponsorships and other sources of funding. So we have 4 full-time staff year round. And then getting closer to the festival, we have seasonal staff who come in, and maybe our team expands to around 10 or 12 people. But that includes like our tech director and her assistant, volunteer coordinator, logistics coordinator for like booking flights and things like that. So yeah, it expands as we get closer to the festival. But yeah, only 4 full-time staff.
That seems pretty lean for such a spread out festival. That's pretty impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, it is. I honestly, until I joined the team, I didn't know that was the size of it. When you're on the outside, you see festivals, especially that size with, over 200 acts. You definitely think there are more people on hand, but it's taught me a lot, and I have a lot of experience now, which is great.
Yeah. So how many times have you performed?
performed
for Sled Island?
Just the one time
Okay.
in 2015.
Yeah.
And so that's like the cool thing about it. The festival, outside of those like headliners that are booked, roughly like 40 to 50 of them, the festival's built to display and celebrate emerging acts across Canada and across the world. So it'll roughly be 40 to 50 of those headliners, then anywhere from 180 to 200 some odd emerging acts who have applied and been accepted to play the festival. And so that's where my job lies in now, of organizing them, getting them information, getting the things we need from them to get them here to play. And so I had that opportunity in 2015 to play the festival that one time.
Were you, is that when you started your music career, around that time?
Yeah, roughly. Just a couple years before, in high school, doing music, creating it on my own, and playing, sort of booking my own shows and making that with my friends. And then so I think roughly in university, when I started in 2014, that's when it started picking up a little more. And then it's amazing to come from 2014, where I'm just finding out about the festival, to then playing it the next year in 2015.
Yeah.
And so going from there, it's been great.
In your career, are you still a musician?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Still, how has it changed over that time?
Yeah, it's been great. I've grown. I've gotten tons of opportunities in the sense that I've gotten to open for some of my favorite acts. I've gotten to travel the country and play in different places. And so just been developing as an artist and getting more opportunities. And this year will be a great year for that, for traveling, for touring, and just playing my new album coming out later this year. But outside of that, I've just gotten to see the landscape of the Calgary hip hop scene grow so much, but also the Calgary music scene. We've had a great bustling scene for so long, but you're really seeing what it's coming to now. I think it's not far off of just needing that one spark that just ignites. There's so many more people in the city just learning about our scene, and it's growing and growing. And now I think the cool thing about Sled Island and just other festivals we have is people from outside of Alberta, outside of Canada, get to see what's going on here. So many times I hear from artists coming in to play the festival that they've never experienced an audience like Calgary's, that it's such a warm, welcoming, inviting audience. And so they leave with an experience they haven't had before. And that's going around. So when we get these applications from emerging acts, we have a section that says, why were you compelled to play the festival? And so many of them will be like, oh, my friends out in New York who play in this band said I have to go out and play the festival. And you hear that in the States, you hear that in Australia, you hear that from submissions from Europe, Japan. And so we have a lot of cool acts coming from all these different places off of the word that Calgary's the place to be. Calgary's the place to be.
Yeah.
And so I'm super excited to see where that goes to, because it's come a long way in the 10-ish years that I've been involved in the music scene, but it has definitely come even longer from before that.
That's really cool. And I've been hearing that in a lot of industries, that Calgary's kind of becoming more of a hub.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had country music here and some pop artists come out of here, but the other genres too. And like I've heard a lot of R&B and EDM stuff now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously, like you mentioned, different sectors, even film is booming from Calgary. So that's amazing.
Is there a component of Sled Island that has other types of art to it too?
Oh, yeah. So it's Sled Island Music and Arts Festival. So we've got the music, obviously. We've got comedy. We've got different art shows and exhibits normally. So this year, it's just our poster show, where we get a few different local artists to come in and design one-off posters for about 10 of the headliners. And so those are on display. And so we have that. We normally will have a different form of art exhibition, whether we're partnering with AU Arts or any other arts department in a school. Or if we see a cool opportunity to bring in an artist from out of town, or one who's playing the festival, who's also a visual artist, we partner with them where we can to put on an exhibition. Yeah.
That's really cool. Do you have any of the acts that you think should already be a lot more popular? Any off the top of your head that you think should already be kind of famous?
Oh yeah, there's so many. Honestly, just even from Calgary, there's Cuvaro and the Only Hopes, K Riz and the Family. That's a hip hop band. Cuvaro is an indie rock slash rock artist. Orange, they're a great multi-disciplinary band. They're really great. There's so many cool artists here in Calgary, Alberta. T Fanny, an amazing hip hop artist. She's making waves and playing tons of different festivals outside of the city. So I think there's so many of those artists here that we have who are just on the cusp of breaking into another bracket and going further. We see them playing Juno Fest. We see them traveling all over the place. So I think we've got great representatives in Calgary. And again, like I mentioned, I think it's just that moment of we need that spark or those few sparks to just lift everybody as well.
I love Sled Island. It's like, I love that it's just far enough before Stampede that the timing's really good.
Yeah.
And I always work Stampede, so I don't go out or anything at that time.
Oh,
it's perfect to go out just before.
Yeah.
No one's burnt out from the partying. And is there did you add any new venues this year?
Ooh. So this year, yes, in comedy, we've added Verns, which is a longtime staple of Calgary.
Yeah.
We've also added King Eddie's Rooftop, which is beautiful, just out in the sun, having live music out on top patio. So we've added that as well. Ooh, I'm trying to think. I think that's it for new venues this year. But I think the new venues come to us in different ways. We have great venues who reach out, or we find out about a new venue. I think the tough thing is Calgary is losing music venues like every year. And so the fact that we have the opportunity to work with all the big staples of Palomino, Palace Theater, Commonwealth, Ship and Anchor, all these different local venues have been with the festival. The Royal Canadian Legion is a massive one. Central United Church. So it's amazing. We've had them, a lot of these on the festivals since 2007 at the very beginning.
Nice.
And so to have these venues supporting and loving Sled is amazing. And then on the other hand, our way, bringing these cool live events and cool artists who may not normally play Sled or play Calgary or think to come to Calgary. So it's been great.
Yeah. How do you see it affecting the community?
Oh, it's massively impacting the community. One, again, just bringing these different types of artists who Calgary may never be on their radar. You see so many acts only coming for Sled Island, and you generally might not see them before. And you would hopefully see them after. Hopefully they love Calgary enough, but it's driving that. I can't remember the numbers personally, but Sled Island the week actually is a huge driver of the economy during Sled. There's, I know for sure, I want to say it's about above $1 million that's generated through local businesses as well, just from Sled Island happening that week. And I think the number might be higher than that actually.
Yeah.
But it's impacting the community in that sense, but it's also impacting it in terms of continuously pushing our art scene and bringing those new faces in, but also highlighting emerging acts. There's so many great ones in Calgary, and roughly we'll normally have about 70 Calgary bands play. So a lot of the time that's a band's first time playing a festival, but then also we're bringing top emerging talent from the rest of the country, from different places. We have a cool act who's played a few years now called Mineo Kawasaki, and he's from Japan, and he just loves to come out to Sled Island each time that we can have him out. And so that's really cool. And so getting to see that and drive and be part of what's happening to develop the music scene is amazing.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept. Can you tell me what makes it different from other festivals around the country?
Yeah, I think the focus on I'm trying to find the right wording for it, but not necessarily the mainstream music. And I think the fact that it's a discovery festival, I think that's the big thing. And it's not necessarily avoiding things that are mainstream, because there are a lot of artists that do come each year that so many of the festival goers know of. But the cool aspect is it's a discovery festival. You're not supposed to know every single act that's playing the festival. You're supposed to go there and discover your new favorite artist. And I've had that multiple times in the past. I'm having that now as I'm helping organize the thing. There's so many artists who are coming, and that's my first time hearing of them. And then I leave loving them. We had one of our guest curators who played the festival in my first year, Bartiz Strange. He was amazing. I knew that year that because I would be working the whole week of the festival, I wouldn't get to see him. So I got to go out to Vancouver, I think 5 or 6 months before he played Sled while he was on tour. And he's an amazing act. And the cool thing, again, is he came, he loved Calgary. I think he was originally supposed to just be here the one night, play his show, and then leave the next day. And he extended his flight because he just loved what was going on. So getting to be part of that has been great. Yeah. And
it's really cool. It's like a festival for the artists. Like you see other festivals, people do their set, they rush out the back, get in a car, leave.
Yeah.
And then at this one, I've seen a lot of the bands or artists sticking around, watching the other shows, days later, having fun throughout.
Yeah.
So that's really cool too.
Yeah, I think that's the coolest part. The band, the OCs, who headlined for us, I think in 2023 as well, they finished their show at Palace Theater, which was completely packed. And then they were over at Pin Bar on 17th Ave watching shows. So that's crazy. And we also had Sunra Orchestra, this amazing band that's been around for a long time. They flew in, and the first thing they did, I remember I was just at their hotel, and I ran into them, and they said, "Hey, we heard about this cool show happening for National Indigenous Peoples Day, which was that night. Can you get us transport to the Ship and Anchor to go see this?" And it's so amazing that these like really established artists who've been playing for decades, who you would think would just want to show up, get in their hotel and just like rest, play their show the next day and then leave. They're asking about what's going on so they can be involved in what's happening in our city and our culture.
That's really cool. That's got to be the most unique part about the festival.
Oh yeah. And the fact that you find out so many, it can come across as like these bigger musicians might be divas, but you find out so many of them are like the nicest people and just down to earth. Another thing, there were 2 artists from Chicago that we had booked in 2023 who just happened to be partners, which was amazing. And the 2 of them heard about Banff. And then so the morning of their second show, booked a car or rented a car and then drove out to Banff. And they were like, "This is amazing." And I've spoken with them since, and they're like, "You have to bring us back. We just love Calgary." So I think that's the cool aspect of just seeing how people love what's going on here and they're getting involved in what's happening.
Is there ever any shows in Banff, part of Sled Island?
Not part of Sled Island. That would be cool, expanding that far. But we run the 6 days every third week of June in Calgary.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what are the dates so people know? And so in real time, I'm making a reel right now.
Yeah.
What are the dates for Sled Island?
Yeah, the dates are June 18th to 22nd, but we always have a kickoff show the Tuesday night before. So that's June 17th as well. So it will run Tuesday night until Sunday. Yeah.
Who's on the kickoff show?
Ooh, so many cool acts. We've got Babe Corner, a really cool band from BC. We've got Matt Mack, this amazing Indigenous hip-hop artist, playing as well. Hip Hip Thursday, this really cool sort of jazz hip-hop band from Calgary. And we've got a ton of others.
Yeah, you know your stuff.
Thank you. Oh, man, testing my schedule knowledge.
What do you think is the most Calgary thing you've seen at Sled Island?
Ooh, Calgary thing.
Hard question.
That is a very hard question. Honestly, because I love how we are getting known as like a community in terms of supporting each other. Just seeing people. Honestly, it may not even be seeing it firsthand. I have seen it firsthand, but getting to hear about it after in like our surveys or the emails or responses we get from people. So many people are like, will just go out and make friends. They may go out to the festival on their own and leave with 4, 5, 6 friends just from the audience. And so I don't know if it's the most Calgary thing, but I love the fact that it is becoming a Calgary thing. And so probably that.
Yeah. Do you find people say that the Calgary scene is different from other places?
Oh, yeah.
You've been?
Yeah.
And how is it different?
Again, it's that community. I don't want to drag any other city's music scene, but we have bands from Vancouver coming out. We have bands from Toronto coming out who mentioned they have never experienced that sort of warmth or like that energy that they feel from the audience when they play in Calgary. And so they love coming out to Calgary. And that's so unique, where those are 2 cities that people say you need to leave Calgary to go to Vancouver, to Toronto, or Montreal. And people are wanting to come to Calgary. And so that's, again, why I think that like we just have to wait for that spark, those next couple sparks, to really blow up our music scene to something much more global. But that's something that I've loved, and that's something I keep hearing, that our scene is unique for how welcoming the audience is, how ready to get involved the audience is.
What are your hopes for the future of Sled Island?
Since I joined the team, my thought is just developing it, helping it grow. So that's definitely something that has been happening over the years. Our executive director has been with the festival, I think, 12 years now. And so she's been with it for a long time, and she's really the one who sort of steadied the ship and developed it the way it is, becoming a discovery festival. And so I wanted to grow, and I wanted to support expanding Calgary's music scene and just keep advancing, keep bringing in more exciting acts, keep building. And I hope it can be a driving factor and show sort of the Calgary government what is needed in the arts scene, and help in any form or way to develop new venues, to develop new events, things like that. I hope it can inspire people. I love being part of that. And so I organize shows outside of Sled. I obviously perform outside of Sled. So yeah.
Do you have a favorite venue to perform at and then to be in the crowd at?
Ooh, you're putting me on the spot.
Because you have a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
Do you have a venue that you've never performed at that you'd want to? Like a dream venue in Calgary?
Oh, yeah. Palace Theater.
You know what? That's what I heard from my last musical guest.
Yeah. Palace Theater would be an amazing thing. And I think as like musicians in the city, we all have our bucket list, and it's on there. It is the top right now to perform there. I've performed at Commonwealth, I've performed at Dickens, I've performed at Royal Canadian Legion. And so those are all massive staples in our scene, Ship and Anchor. And so getting to cross those off, but not just cross them off and just be done with, like getting to continually be active in booking at those venues, playing at those venues, and attending shows at those venues. I think all of them bring something unique. Ship and Anchor, for example, they're amazing because they've made it so accessible that all the shows there are free all year round at Sled Island. Anytime you go for a music show, that show is free, and it's very accessible. They are putting the onus on themselves to bring great talent and to drive that, and also drive compensating artists. So it's not, here's a free show, nobody's getting paid. They're also driving that aspect as well. Palomino was a huge supporter of the local scene. So many local bands are playing there. And there's sort of almost, and what I want to keep developing for Calgary is just like a built-in like audience, people just wanting to hear good music. So they will continuously check what's happening tonight. And I think that's the key thing we're missing. In LA or in New York, it's not a matter of what is happening tonight. It's not a matter of is something happening tonight? It's what can we go to?
Yeah, where are we going tonight?
Exactly. Something is happening any day of the week in those cities. And that's the same thing here. We have shows happening every single day. but it's about driving that knowledge for the city. I think a lot of folks want to go out to shows but don't know where to start. And I see that from friends asking me, like, how do you always know about these shows? And it's like just checking these venue websites, checking out new bands, following them, keeping up to date with what's happening. And so I think that's something unique that I really want to keep driving. So we turn into a city of where are we going tonight? Because there's so many options.
I also see Sled Island doing events at other times in the year.
Yeah.
What are they? And then what's the kind of the purpose of those ones? To build some hype for Sled Island or just additional?
A mix of both. It really depends on what the event is. So an example is the Rock Lotto. We do that. Normally we try to do that twice a year. It sometimes can only be one, but what the Rock Lotto is we will put out a blast to musicians to apply for it. And so we'll pick generally 25 people, split them into 5 brand new one-off bands with at least one drummer, at least one guitar player, etc., vocalist, bass. And then from there, we put them up in different rehearsal spaces, and they have 8 hours to make a 20-minute set and come back and perform it that night. And so that has been running for a long time, where before that was just, we would get musicians who have played Sled from the city and things like that. Now we split it so we have like established Calgary musicians and folks who are looking for ways to get involved in that scene. And so we've had the opportunity of getting grant funding the last couple times to do that. And it really is amazing from the feedback we hear from both parties, but definitely the folks who are looking to get involved in the scene. They've now made friends with more established musicians in the city. They get to hear about shows from them. They get to sometimes perform with them, and things like that are really cool. There's a band that's playing right now in Calgary who formed because they played the Rock Lotto together and were just randomly assigned together. They're called Bridgeland. Their rehearsal space was over in Bridgeland, and then now they've been playing with each other for years. So we have things like that. We have the All Age Rager that we did last year, where we realized we wanted to reach out more to that all ages audience. We do have a lot of all ages shows, but definitely like a lot of our bigger headliners are at the 18 plus venues. So just giving that younger audience a taste of what Sled Island is and letting them see what they can expect. So when we did that last year, we partnered with Pin Bar, Sloth Records, and Loophole Coffee, 3 all ages venues that we have that folks could get to bounce between. And we put different kinds of shows there, and it was a great turnout of young attendees who really wanted to know what the festival was about and getting their first taste of, okay, cool, all these shows are happening. We get to choose to bounce between and see these different acts. So that was really cool, and it's cool seeing parents support that interest. So earlier in the day, we had it running, I think like 2 p.m. till 10 p.m. At those venues. And so getting to see parents over at Pin Bar with their anywhere from 8 to 15-year-olds or 16, 17, I think that's really cool. And it's not just the all ages is definitely under 18, but it's also that 19, 20, 21-year-old group as well. So getting to see a lot of them out at the shows was really cool. And so we have tons of different events like that just to engage the city, and sometimes there are opportunities that come out of the woodwork at the right time. So this past winter, we did an event called Bobsled, which was a winter sort of mini festival, and we got to partner with Palomino to do that. And I think it was roughly 6 days of music. And so that works in conjunction with Winterruption, a winter festival that likes to bring artists out. And because a lot of those artists were coming to play that in Edmonton and Saskatoon, we got to sort of piggyback off of that and bring in those headliners and then put in local acts as the openers. So giving another cool opportunity for live music at a time where there's less options when it's cold and people don't really know is music going on.
So good. I love the name Bobsled. Shout out to whoever.
Curtis, our marketing manager.
Shout out to Curtis.
He said it as a joke. And I was like, I actually really like that. And then our boss was like, I like that too.
Yeah.
And then we ran with it.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, if you're new to the show, please subscribe on YouTube. That's a really important one. I want to grow on YouTube. Lots of listeners on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. Keep subscribing there. Share it with someone. If you think it's a cool concept, share it with your friends. We want to keep it going. So yeah, thanks so much. Stay tuned for more Deets. I listened to what is it?
Otoboke Beaver.
Yeah, that was intense.
It really is intense.
Yeah.
They are our guest curator this year and the main festival headliner. So they'll be playing Palace on the Saturday, and it's already sold out. We already know it's going to be a hectic night in the best way possible. They are just really fun, energetic, musicians. And so I'm excited to see that. And we've got, I think a special thing coming up with that is Brain Bent, who is a local Calgary band, a local punk/post-punk band. They'll be opening up, and they put on an insane show. So I think that just overall will be.
Same night?
Yeah, same night. Yeah, they'll be
a good
amazing.
Show.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a reel out of that. I'll put their music right over this.
Hey, I like that.
Music playing here.
Yeah, Brain Bent.
Anything else you want to mention?
Yeah. With the festival, main thing I always tell folks is, again, it's a discovery festival. So go with the expectation to just check out things that you might not normally, or our schedule's coming out, or at this point should be out May 27th. And so on our website, it gives you the option to go filter through genres that you like. And it will, like, let's say you just love punk and you click to filter and just show punk. It'll show you all the punk acts across the week, and you get to go in and build your own map of where you want to go. Or let's say you want to check out new stuff and folk singer-songwriters, the way you want to go. You can see all that's happening in alignment with, let's say, your punk. And so you can line up and say, cool, I can run from this venue to this, to this, to this. And so I tell people, take advantage of that. And there's the Discovery Pass. Get a Discovery Pass. It gives you full access to the festival. You get to run around and catch as many shows as you want, as much as your mind can take across 6 days. And take care of yourself. That's like the key thing I always tell folks. Stay hydrated. It's a marathon, not a sprint. People go hard the whole week, and I'm like, you don't have to go hard the whole week. We do. I cannot leave downtown until the last show is done. And so I'm getting home at 2, 3 a.m. each night, and then getting back up to get back downtown for 9 a.m. to make sure everything's up and running for the next few shows.
Don't forget to take care of yourself.
I will try my best. I learned the hard way my first year. I just went hardcore, got sick for a month after.
Yeah.
I learned second year, a lot better. I was just tired for a month, not sick.
Yeah. Take emergency packets.
Oh.
Get your vitamins in.
Oh, I have to.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Is there anyone else? Have you taken a look at the lineup of who you want to see?
I like Zola Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I was listening to Tops earlier today.
Oh.
Kind of a vibe.
Yeah. I love Tops.
Yeah.
They're going to be a great night. And more shout outs for local artists. Thomas, an amazing local band, will be opening for them as well.
Nice.
And so I think that I don't want to brag. I think we've got a good lineup this year. I think we've got cool, exciting things.
It is good. Do you find it's with all of the different genres, you're reeling in a lot of new people to Sled Island every year?
We are finding that. We are finding it's a lot of the same people, but I think slowly and surely, more and more people are added on, because we send out a survey every year. And so we are seeing the stats in terms of, oh, this was my first time. I had no idea. Or, oh, my buddy took me out to this one show. I have to come out to the full thing next year. And I think the cool thing as well is you get the emerging artists, or just other artists in general, who come and play the festival for the first time and really get to see what it's about. And you see these artists coming back on years they're not playing as attendees. So I think that's a really cool aspect, and it's growing the audience slowly but surely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited to see where things go.
Yeah, so that's all I have. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. This has been a hoot.
Yeah, I just take these off and the show ends immediately.
Okay.
I'm
ready.